A Ukrainian FPV drone spotted a Russian soldier alone in the open. Upon noticing the drone, the soldier appeared visibly alarmed and unsure of how to respond. He attempted to escape multiple times, but quickly realized it was futile. Despite his visible distress and gestures toward the drone, his efforts did not prevent the drone from completing its mission. The Ukrainian 414th UAV Brigade, known as the Magwa Birds, tracked a Russian soldier using an FPV drone, maintaining steady surveillance throughout the operation. The Russian soldier ran with all his strength in an attempt to escape the drone, but his efforts ultimately fell short. New footage has just been released from the Flying Skull team showing the elimination of an enemy combatant in an open field. Despite attempts to flee, the individual was unable to evade the strike. Ukrainian drone operators once again demonstrated exceptional skill and precision in a high-stakes environment. FPV drone operators from Okiv, part of the Ukrainian Defense Forces, conducted a targeted drone strike on Russian positions at the Kinbrin Spit. The drones targeted locations where Russian soldiers were using abandoned houses as shelters, delivering precise and effective strikes on those positions. 2 Russian soldiers were observed outside their trench near the village of Torsky in the Donetsk region. At the same time and location, 2 Ukrainian soldiers were carrying out a reconnaissance mission in the nearby forest. The soldiers unexpectedly encountered each other, leading to an exchange of fire. The Ukrainian troops deployed several grenades toward the shelter and engaged with small arms fire. After the brief but intense clash, the Russian soldiers ultimately chose to surrender. Ukrainian Signum Battalion's fiber optic FPV drones targeted and disabled Russian artillery positions. One by one, artillery batteries positioned in the Lyman direction were hit with precision, demonstrating the increasing impact of drone warfare on the modern battlefield. Despite Russian efforts to carefully camouflage their artillery systems, they were unable to evade the skilled detection and maneuver tactics employed by Ukrainian drone operators. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone continued its search operations in the Donetsk region. During the mission, an armored vehicle was spotted in motion. Upon closer inspection, it was identified as a Russian T-72 tank. As the enemy personnel attempted to conceal the tank within nearby buildings, Ukrainian troops transmitted live coordinates to their artillery systems. The artillery units delivered a precise strike, directly hitting the tank. Smoke began to rise from the vehicle, followed by a second wave of artillery fire to ensure the target was fully neutralized. As a result of these successive artillery strikes, the enemy tank was set ablaze, with debris scattering from the impact. The T-72 was ultimately rendered inoperative, marking the end of its role on the battlefield. In the Sumy region of Ukraine, air reconnaissance units from Ukraine's 225th Assault and Maneuver Battalion detected a 10-person Russian infantry group that had remained hidden for a long time due to heavy fog. The group was advancing on foot toward Ukrainian positions. Acting on real-time intelligence from the reconnaissance units, Ukrainian artillery forces quickly sprang into action. Coordinating closely with aerial surveillance, the artillery units launched a precise strike on the advancing Russian infantry. FPV drones were also deployed to support the operation, delivering targeted blows that disrupted and ultimately halted the enemy's advance. Within a short time, the Russian soldiers were surrounded and neutralized, bringing the operation to a successful conclusion. Drone operators from the Falcon Squad, part of the Ukrainian Army's 57th Mechanized Brigade, carried out a precision strike to neutralize opposing forces using the underside of a bridge as a shelter. They then successfully maneuvered into a position targeting a location where Russian personnel were reportedly taking cover inside a building. The Russian personnel appeared to panic upon spotting the FPV drone in close proximity. The drone operators executed their strike with such precision that it left the opposing forces visibly stunned. This is due to their ability to navigate through even the smallest openings, allowing them to carry out highly accurate and effective strikes. An opposing shelter caught fire following a direct hit from a Ukrainian drone, with the blaze intensifying rapidly. The 2nd Mechanized Battalion of the 3rd Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces is conducting effective drone operations against Russian positions. The brigade is deploying specialized munitions on wooden structures reportedly used as shelters, causing them to ignite upon impact. Additionally, drone operators are executing precision strikes on underground positions, effectively disabling both the shelters and the personnel within. These operations aim to disrupt enemy movement and weaken defensive lines in the area. Ukrainian forces targeted a structure occupied by Russian troops using FPV loitering drones. Following this strike, one infantryman, visibly injured, exited the building and attempted to take cover in a nearby shelter. However, Ukrainian reconnaissance drones monitoring the area from above continued to track the infantryman. As soon as he entered the small structure, the drone operator executed a rapid precision strike, resulting in a powerful explosion that effectively neutralized the target. Despite the powerful explosion, the infantryman survived the strike. It appeared that, for him, this may have been a rare moment of fortune amid the chaos of battle. The Russian infantryman quickly exited the shelter and took cover beneath a nearby supply tank. The reconnaissance drone maintained visual contact, continuing to monitor the soldiers' movements closely. Shortly thereafter, a second soldier also took cover beneath the tank. It was a critical moment for the loitering drone operator, who launched a precise strike toward their position. While it appeared the soldiers had narrowly escaped earlier, their brief fortune only delayed the inevitable. The situation left little room for escape. The Ukrainian drone operators remained resolute. They advanced on the soldiers' location with precision, executing calculated strikes. Their objective was to fully eliminate the threat posed by the opposing forces. To achieve this, they launched several additional FPV loitering drone strikes in rapid succession. Powerful explosions followed each impact. The question remained, had the targets been neutralized? Finally, one of the drones closed in and successfully engaged the remaining enemy. At last, the opposing infantry had been fully neutralized. Russian forces attempted to infiltrate Ukrainian positions. Following successful defensive actions by Ukrainian troops, the opposing assault was repelled. An enemy infantryman was observed taking cover near damaged structures. However, upon noticing Ukrainian drones, the Russian infantryman began to flee toward open terrain. A Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drone quickly intercepted him. The drone struck the fleeing soldier with a powerful impact, resulting in a massive explosion. The soldier was wounded and could no longer move swiftly. Refusing to surrender, he remained on the ground. Ukrainian troops then deployed a second FPV drone, which locked onto the target. With precision, the drone descended rapidly from above and delivered a devastating final strike. This time there was an even more powerful blast. The impact of the explosion rendered the opposing infantry unit inoperative.